Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. If you're my peers and subscribers, welcome back to the channel. It is kind of chilly out, so I'm wearing a little jacket. But anyway, today is December 10th at 12:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is when this video is being recorded on Tuesday. I just finished recording part 2 of the Romania election reading. I assume probably by the time you're watching this video, it's already gone out, hoping that the closed caption is fully processing so I can put it out for you guys. Again, for those of you guys who think that I have control of the transcript, I do not. That is held by YouTube. A lot of information that I do on this YouTube channel is time sensitive, so I just want to make sure you keep note of that as well, that if a video does not closed caption is automatic, I make sure I set it to automatic, so it may take a little bit of time for it to process, and when it processes, the closed caption will be available. Now, if you do feel like you want to be notified personally by me, I can notify you. I will be making a Discord group, a YouTube channel, not a YouTube channel, a Discord group where you guys can join. I'll let you know when that happens. I'll be making a Blue Sky account, and I will also be, I have a Facebook group that you guys can join, and I notify you when I upload videos. So like that. So there are other ways that you guys can ask me and I can notify you personally when a video closed caption has been uploaded. Anyway, besides the point, let's talk about what's been taking place with Louis Manoni, I think it is. It's what happened with CEO. I mentioned this in my previous reading, but I don't know what video is going to come out first, so I'm just saying it here again. I have a feeling that the United States is going to enter a period and an ideology shift from the revolutionary energy that we experienced during the very beginning till almost right to the very moment. The United States entering Pluto return to the revolutionary style energy of the United States. However, the United States is not going to enter into this new era, this new book, this sequel, the French revolutionary ideas. We're going to be shifting away from the more of the dormant revolutionary ideas. We'll kind of take a step back. We don't really protest as much. Expect that to change. People will be taking matters into their own hand. I do feel like Luigi, is innocent. I do feel that. When I saw his video and his pictures and stuff like that, I was like, he was set up. That's what I got intuitively. We'll read on that in another video. We're not going to read it on today, but it is going to be referring to the Heartbreak video that I did. I'll put the link in the description below to that video if you want to watch the political disaster that's going to take place. I think it really bogged down to, when you look at it from a standpoint view, when you look at that thumbnail of that YouTube video, I showed a picture of like the blue and red of somebody holding onto the heart and the heart is killing them, the heart attack or whatnot. Well, what is the biggest thing for you most Americans? Well, first, the number one biggest thing in the United States is heart attack. I believe it's probably the highest death. Fact check me in the comment section below if that is not right. But what is also noted as well is that it's the healthcare. A lot of Americans need healthcare. Most Americans are very relying on it. The food industry, everything around us is killing us. So we need healthcare. So when you take away something that someone needs, what's the basic necessity, and either you rack up the charges or you make it almost nearly impossible to even survive or get the help you need, well, people become radicalized and take matters into their own hand. So definitely expect this to be known as the guillotine era or the guillotine age. I would not be surprised if this will not be the last one to start. When protest does not work, when negotiation does not work, well, then there's other options as well. And that means the end of certain people and certain individuals. You know what? They had it coming. That's all I'm going to say. They had it coming. This video is just for entertainment purposes only and for educational purposes only as well. So, let's talk about the other options as well. So we recently did a video on Romania. We talked about the similarity between Romania and the United States and what that could mean for the United States. I talked about in my previous video how there was going to be a foreign entity that's going to nullify their results, and that will be the perfect blueprint for the United States. That happened to be Romania. So, I did a video on that. Towards the end, I kind of talked about more about the possibility of a 2025 U.S. presidential election. I'm not going to spoil the answer for that, but I do want to explore other options as well. So in this video, we're going to explore the 14th Amendment, Section 3. We talked about this many times on the channel. This is not something that's new or unknown. We're going to talk about Executive Order 13848, wartime president, and the military coup. If you guys have any other suggestions, any recommendation that you think that there's other plausibilities that Donald Trump may not get into the White House, like we said, it's possible. That is also an option. We talked about a possibility of a car crash or faulty wiring. We talked about that. We talked about car crashes, heart attack, bad health. There's a lot of things that's gonna happen. I do think that JD Vance is not gonna become the next president of the United States. I kept seeing a young male energy, and I think I'm getting closer to figuring out who that is. I think it might be Jeffries. I really do. We're going to read on that in another video, but you let me know what you think and who you believe will be the next president of the United States, at least temporary president until the new one is sworn in. We're just going to explore the options and just go from there. That's really all that I have for today, and yeah, let's just start. Okay, so the 14th Amendment of Section 3, actually, let me read it to you because I feel like some of you guys are familiarized with it, but not 100% familiarized, so let's just do it. 14th Amendment, Section 3. Okay, so this is what it says here. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elected president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or the member of any state. Section 3 also provides that Congress may remove the bar from an otherwise disqualified person by 2/3 vote in each house. That hasn't happened. They haven't removed the bar. And it's not going to happen because of, because the House is so divided and the House is so close that they're not going to get a 2/3 majority on either side. So theoretically speaking, when it says here, well, Congress may remove such disability or such bar from otherwise disqualified person by 2/3 votes in each House, which means the Senate and the House of Representatives, that does not look likely. So theoretically, they could use the 14th Amendment and totally disregard the Supreme Court entirely because it gives the Congress the ability to make the decision, not the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court was being used because Trump wanted to ensure that his people would make sure that he would and cannot be removed from power or office. So that is why I'm seeing what I'm seeing. Now, we're using this because I'm uploading the video and I need to upload. So I'm just allowing the video to play on my phone. So you see a little phone video, whatever. That is because it's just to make sure it looks like I'm on. But anyway, besides the point, let's start. I'm going to do the first reading on the Section 14th Amendment of Section 3. Let's see what comes up for that. Okay, let's see. Where will we tell the story the best? Okay, they're telling me to go to this one. Okay, so Spears Angels tell me about the 14th Amendment, Section 3. Okay, so we had a red car here. Remember how I talked about the red car in a lot of my videos? I kept coming up with the red car. We have the red Tesla. I wonder if that is indicated Tesla. Maybe there's faulty wiring in a Tesla car. There's some faulty wiring. There's Elon Musk and there is his rocket ship. Okay, I'm hearing going to space but not coming back. I wonder if there's faulty wiring in something where, it could be little. It could mean that there's faulty wiring in a rocket ship and it can't come back because of the faulty wiring and people are stuck there. But if you look at it from a methodological standpoint, it's telling me here that, okay, there's faulty wiring in the car. It leads to a car crash. But it's going at high speed. It almost feels like the brake doesn't work. It had to do something with the brakes. I'm seeing a coin flip. I'm seeing a coin just come out, like metal pieces flying off this vehicle. It's like a head-on collision. I honestly think that it's very possible as well that, whatever's being taken place with the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, it could go a full head-on collision. There's going to be a crash of some type. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Yeah, but I don't know why I just decided to do that. I do apologize. Hopefully you guys can hear me. All right, perfect. All right, so Spears Angels tell me more about Section 14, excuse me, 14th Amendment, Section 3 of the United States Constitution. Um, will it be used against Donald Trump to prevent him from becoming the next president of the United States? Okay. I did not like the cards came out too quickly because I feel like I didn't have enough time to shuffle, but I guess we'll take it. Oh, okay, this is interesting. What is the bottom of the deck? Cancer. 36, that's 9 completion. There's a completion here. Okay, they're telling me to take the Illuminati. They're saying that there's more to the story, but there's not enough information that I could just read with these cards individual. Like, I need more. So, we're going to get more from this Illuminati deck. By the way, in case you guys are all serious, I do read with cards. Playing cards. Yes, that's right. I read with playing cards. I told you guys this many times before that I read on intuition only. I don't read the meaning of the actual cards. I know none of the meanings. You ask me what any of the cards mean, I do not know. I read based on intuition only. So that's why I can read with games. I can read with Uno. A lot of you guys have seen me over the years, since 2021, 2020, 2022, 2023. I read with Uno cards. Yes, that's right, Uno. You're probably asking yourself, how do you even read with Uno? There's a lot of ways you can. Alright, so Spirit Angel, you told me I need further clarification, extra information needed for this reading. Regarding the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution, Section 3, with the disqualification clause for inciting insurrection against the United States from foreign and domestic. Thank you. Okay, so we have here SMOF. Okay, conspiracy. We have here interference. First time we had the interference card. It's reversed, but it doesn't matter because for this deck, it does not matter if it's reversed or upright. It still has the same meaning. Okay, we have here fraternal order. It's reversed. Okay, we have here comic book. Again, something that you will see in a comic book that came to life. And then we have here blank. And I have blank interference. There's something blank here. And then on the bottom of the card deck, we have Chinese campaign donors. It was reverse. Chinese campaign donors. And then the top of the deck, we have here, oh, okay. Did I not just say this earlier? Was there something with a red card, faulty wiring? Okay, so it looks like to me there's going to be some other method that's going to be taking place per, the card. Again, everything in this video is just for entertainment purposes only and for life purposes only, as well for educational purposes. Okay, so now let's discuss in the 14th Amendment, Section 3. So the air card. The first card that came in was pollution, corruption, dirty, filthy. Right, that's the first card that came in. It's the air card, Aries. Right? The next card is followed by the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands here is the end of the story. It's the painting. It's the failure of the amendment. I don't know if, I don't really have confidence in the 14th Amendment so far. Based on what the cards are looking, I don't know if I have confidence in its ability to be effective. I think it has been thwarted, and because of that, the story of it has been ended. We have here again the Three of Swords. This is the heart card, the heartbreak card. It's reversed. This is normally this is a black person being having politically motivated. It's politically motivated by police, right? It's reversed. The Three of Swords reversed, and it's followed by the Strength card, weakness. It's followed by weakness. I don't think the 14th Amendment is strong anymore. I don't think it was good for the time in which it was created, but it had a loophole, and the loophole basically didn't indicate, or it didn't really close the loophole that other methods could corrupt the process. if that makes any sense. Because we have the Three of Wands reversed and the Three of Swords reversed, and it's followed by the Justice card. It went to the Supreme Court. You see Ruth Bader Ginsburg lifting up her blindfold. She's supposed to be bipartisan, making decisions equally. The decision for the 14th Amendment, Section 3, was not made equally under the justice of the law. It gave power to the president. It gave power. I mean, it took power away from the 14th Amendment and its original purpose, and it redefined it into a weakness. We have here, between the Three of Swords reversed and the Strength card, we're indicating weakness. We have the Ten of Cups. This is the election card. It's reversed. I don't really have confidence in the 14th Amendment being used, and if it did, it's not going to work. We do have here, we have the Ten of Wands reversed here. We have wheelchair disability, right? Unable to move on grass, right? Everybody who knows, when you have a wheelchair and you try to push something, it becomes very resistant on grass. It's unable to move smoothly on grass. It almost feels like the grass is very muddy. It feels like it's just rained. And now when you try to put a wheelchair on it, it just stinks. And it creates a crevice in the grass, unable to where you're able to push the wheelchair forward. And it's followed by the Cancer card. Pollution, right? Again, another pollution card. It's the Cancer card. It indicates crabs. It indicates the founding of the United States, 4th of July. That's the Cancer card. The top of the card here, we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Democrats on top, the divine timing. It's going to take time. I do feel like I have to relate to the House of Representatives. I said this in my other video as well. But I do see a plausibility where the House of Representatives flip Democrat. Now, I talked about this in my other video as well, and I put the link to all those videos in the other video. And the video I'm talking about is the Romania video. I put all the vacant, Speakership, Speaker Johnson, and Kevin McCarthy, and I talked about how the House was going to go blue after it has been called Republican, right? I still very much believe that is going to happen because Taro did not live as a human. Therefore, it did not understand the way that we view time. Everything is all linear. Everything's happening at the same time, right? But according to Taro, everything is happening at the same time. But when we look at it, we're looking at it from a linear standpoint and say, okay, so today was Monday, this is Friday, right? But everything for Taro is happening at the same time. It's unable to discern time references, so to speak. So now we're going through the Illuminati cards here, and it says SF fans, Trekkies. If somebody has mentioned a Trekkies, for those of you guys who commented, I do appreciate you. Trekkies is talking about how Elon Musk, the space energy, going into space, the technology. Trekkies means Star Wars. Or, what's the other one? I don't know what the other one is, oh my god. But it had to do something with space, right? That is what that is, and it comes up with conspiracy, and it relates to Elon Musk. So something with Elon Musk has to do with some sort of interference. Again, everything in this video is just for life purposes only, and entertainment purposes only as well. We have the interference card reversed, and it has a band here, a band. And what is funny about a car is that we talked about faulty wiring. I wonder if there was interference in the faulty wiring or the mechanism within the computer glitch or the computer voting system that has created a dynamic in which Trump could win, right? It also could be indicating as well with the interference card is reversed is that there is some sort of interference with the vehicle in which they use to do this. Not saying that there's a physical vehicle, it might be a different type of technology that we're not aware of, but they use to enact to ensure that there's a certain fraternal order that makes sure it maintains control. What's the fraternal order? The order of things in which have came before, and this is a conservative card, by the way. See the conservative card. So that is not further clarification for the interference and the motive behind it, making sure that this individual is able to maintain power, which is a conservative, but there has to be some sort of faulty wire, some sort of interference of some sort. And I was followed by the comic book, which is the Wham card, Weird and Violent. It's reversed. It has to do with some sort of comic book. So something that is so far-fetched, but it has happened because it came a reality. So something that is going to blow our minds. And it has to do with a blank. It's not going to tell us right now. It's not going to tell us what it is. But there's blank something that has to do with the computer system or some sort of vehicle that is led to the conservative order, the conservative New World Order, so to speak, but there's a blank here. This means something else is going to take its place. And here's the assassination card. We have the red truck. We talked about this earlier in the video. We talked about this in many videos. Faulty wiring again. If that's not enough, I don't know what is. But let's find out what that blank information is. Okay. What is that blank Illuminati card? Oh, look. I didn't know there was more cards that was upright. We have here survivalists. Okay. We have here Girl Magazine. Okay. Girl Magazine reverse. We have here video game control. Convenience stores. We have here health food stores. I think the blank is, I wonder if they're going to use bio. There's something with bio here. Okay, Spirit Angels don't tell me what interference here. What is this blank card that is right next to the interference card underneath the comic book, but above the assassination? What card best represents this? The big media. Okay. Thank you. So the big media. So the big media represents the blank. Is what does the media do? What narrative does it spin? The big media was involved in whatever it is that they're complicit, so to speak. Complicit. Okay, this video is just for entertainment purposes, only for educational purposes only as well. But complicit. Okay? Someone is complicit in making sure that there was a fraternal order, a conservative world order that had to take place. So, the 14th Amendment. Will it take place? I don't have confidence in it. But it was telling you the story of the election as well and how they were able to do it. So maybe potentially as we go through this reading, we might be able to uncover more truths than lies, right? So, let's see. So I don't think the 14th Amendment Section 3, if the Democrats were to go that route, if that will be the strongest outcome. I think that, if anything, as of right now, because I only read a 2 outcomes so far, I think that is one of the weakest. But we'll see from the others. We'll see what they say there, because we don't know yet. Okay. The next one that we're going to read on is the Executive Order 13848. That's an important one that was actually created by, well, you guessed it, former President Donald Trump. So, a lot of things that Trump seemed to do be biting him in the butt. So, let's see. We're going to, I'm going to actually read it to you first. And I feel like if I read it to you, you're going to know more about what Executive Order 13848 means, rather than me just trying to read on it. So let's just see. I actually don't know what it is. I just know it has to do something with interference, but that's as much as I know. So let me read it to you. I have the link. I'll put the link in the description below. Okay. So it's from the White House, by the way. This was released September 9, 2024. This is Biden. Biden renewed this executive order that was put forth by former President Donald Trump. It says here, press release, notice on the continuation of the national emergency with respect to foreign interference in or undermining public confidence in the United States elections. Okay, on September 12, 2018, by Executive Order 13848, the President Trump declared a national emergency pursuant to the International Emergency Economic Power Act to deal with the unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security and foreign policy of the United States, constituted by the threat of foreign interference in or undermining public confidence in the United States election. Although there have been no evidence of foreign powers altering the outcomes of vote tabulation in any United States election, foreign powers have historically sought to exploit America's free and open political systems. In recent years, the proliferation of digital devices and internet-based communication have created significant vulnerabilities and magnified the scope and intensity of the threat of foreign interference. The ability of a person located in whole or in substantial part outside the United States to interfere in or undermine public confidence in the United States election, including through unauthorized accessing of election and campaign infrastructure or to convert distribution of propaganda and disinformation, continue to pose an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security and foreign policy of the United States. For this reason, the national security emergency declared on September 12, 2018, must continue in effect beyond September 12, 2024. Therefore, in accordance with Section 202D of the National Emergency Act 50 U.S.C. 1622D, I am continuing for 1 year the National Emergency Declaration in Executive Order 13848 with respect to the threat of foreign interference in or undermining public confidence in the United States election. This notice shall be published to the Federal Register and transmitted to the Congress. Joseph R. Biden, the White House, September 9, 2024. So Biden renewed a policy that Trump had put forth in 2018. So you can see that there. I'll put the link in the description below. So we're going to talk about Executive Order 13848. Now that you know all about it and more information regarding it, let's see if that is a plausibility that Biden is going to use and exploit. We never seen a president use it before, so we don't know what capability and power that hold within the executive order. But nonetheless, we are going to explore that because in order for us to understand the world that we live in, we need to be able to understand the capabilities that it could pose. So, Spirit Angel, tell me about Executive Order 13848. Will President Biden use it? Will President Biden use Executive 13848 against former President Donald Trump or for the United States 2024 presidential election? But Bernie Sanders came up again. This card came up again. Okay. Ooh, it's getting cold in here. Pisces, Sagittarius. I think he is. I think he's going to use it. I'm getting chilled. I'm not saying because it's cold. I'm saying I'm actually getting chilled. And you have the Cancer card again. Now, I want to post this video after the second one. This is like a sequel to the first video with the Romania. Because we had the four wands here show up. We had the Hermit card show up. We have the Sagittarius card show up. These are all very important cards for that reading. Okay, so we're talking about foreign interference in the United States presidential election, right, in 2024. I think, and just hear me out here. Now, if you watched that video already, you're watching this video now, I feel very strongly that there is a possibility where Biden could use Executive Order 13848 and then declare that because of it, we have to nullify our election and do election redo sometime after January, February, March of 2025. I talk about the 2025 presidential election in the United States between Vice President Harris versus Donald John Trump. I think there's a probability that this executive order could lead the way for that happening. I think there's a 2-in-1 combo. I'm seeing here that there is a 2 combo here. So it could be 14th Amendment, Section 3, with Executive Order 13848. There's a whole other way they can do it, but it's saying here that not one thing can be strong on its own. It has to be combined with something. So it could be military coup and wartime president. That could be a combination. There's a whole bunch of ways that we can do this. But nonetheless, there has to be a combo of some sort. So at least now we established that it can't be standing on its own by its own. Like the way the 14th Amendment Section 3 was, where it was very weak. So, the first card that we come up here, we have Prudence. What is the National Security Administration, right? We have Lavender. And the Richard Cube is fixed. He's looking at the cube and he's trying to figure out, well, what's wrong here? What is wrong? Because all the codes are right, but something just doesn't feel right. And these are the blocks. It feels like everything is right, but it almost feels like it doesn't feel right. Something's wrong here. Your intuition is going, wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. That is the first card that comes up for this reading. The next card that follows up is the Pope. Right? The Pope. The illusion of belief. Right? We have this girl here who is looking away from those who are following the cult type energy. Right? Now again, this is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. right? This girl's looking away. She does not want to look in the black robe. She does not want to look. But this is actually giving me the Supreme Court. It is giving me the Supreme Court for one simple reason. They're wearing black. Right? And they're all watching this leader, this person speak. We have here protest, unite. Fair pay, workers unite, labor rights now, people protesting, but who's behind here? We have people ready to beat them. There's going to be a fight that's not going to go easy. We have the Aries card. And the Aries card actually, believe it or not, came up again for 14th Amendment Section 3. I wonder if there might be a triple combo attack. It might be Section 14, Section 3, and then it might be, the executive order, and then they'll release information regarding the election. We do have Aries. The Aries card is reversed here. The Aries card is telling me that air is going to be very hard to breathe. I almost feel like somebody's going to be having a heart attack or someone can't breathe. It's too much. It's too stressful during this time. Someone's being choked. Yeah, someone's being choked. We have here underneath, and I don't know if that's metaphorical or physical, but that's what I got. Underneath the National Security Act, we have the Hermit card. Find the light, listening to the little tweaker. Now we talked about Vice President Harris getting a little mouse, right? And a little mouse you can tell a little something. This is the person that has to go blindly into the darkness with a little bit of light, but the little bird is going to follow her into the light. It's going to follow her, it's going to let her know. She needs to walk alone in that. But here we have the people watching, but they're also walking as well. We have a Supreme Court justice. Here, justice is on her side. But she has to do this alone. So underneath the National Security Act, we're talking about here the executive order. I think Biden is going to have to trust it and just do it. And then see what happens. But underneath here, we have the Pope card, which is all about faith and believing in the election result and people watching the election. They believe that it was true. But some people have felt like it wasn't, and that's why they turned away from the result. Well, to further aid in that, we have the faith card that folds up reverse. Faith, right? Iconic, right? The fact that it's the religion, and it's the opposite religion, denying faith, right? We have people dressed up in red. We have the military dressed up as well, and this is the faith card. It's reverse. It's reverse. So those of you guys who've been talking about the red handmaid tale, I don't know if it's going to become a possibility. I really don't. I do feel like there is going to be some sort of military here in some capacity because there is a military very present in this picture, in the faith card. I wonder if there's infiltration in the military in some capacity. There's some sort of infiltration. So we could have a showdown. We do have here, we have the Four of Wands here, upright protest. We have somebody trying to beat them. So it could be this individual because it looks very similar to what they're holding. We have the Capricorn card reversed. Now we talked about Capricorn before, and we had like this horn, right? This is another animal that came up with a horn, right? This is the Aries card, but this is astrological, and there's like war, and we have the military again lined up. It's reversed. This is Capricorn. I think there's going to be protests. There's going to be some protests, but there are going to be those who are going to do violence, protests, or do some sort of violence. There's some sort of violence, either against people or for people. I don't know what it is, but there's some sort of violence. We do have underneath the Aries card, we have water, air and water. We have Pisces. Going upstream. This is my card that said that, Biden and Democrats can choose to go downstream and just allow it to happen, just let it go. Or they can choose to go upstream. And once they reach the upstream, they're going to reach calm water. So what this is telling me here yeah, going downstream might be easier. It might be an easy route. But that doesn't necessarily mean that is the best route. Sometimes going upstream is where all the calmness is. But getting there is going to be the hardest part because that's where all the chaos ensues. And then once you get on top and you enter the smoother water, it's all calm from there. So I feel like this hiccup that's happening here, it's going to be solved by the time we get to here. Which is why the calmness here. But I do feel like because you look here, one fish is going down, 3 fish are going up. That might be a key indicator of how things go. Right? Now, underneath the Hermit card and national security, we have the November election. Now, if you watched my previous video with the Romania, this card came up specifically for the month of November. We're talking about the national security threat, the interference in the election regarding Executive Order 13848. Now, underneath the Pope card and faith reverse, which means people don't have faith in the election anymore, but some people, a large portion of the Americans, believe that the election is correct, while a whole portion does not believe that, but the portion that does not believe will find the light to the truth, and they're the little tweakers. They're the one, they're resistance to what has taken place. They're being resistant by them protesting and them making their voices heard. The tweakers, the little bird, is going to be the one that has to guide the president to do an executive order 13848. So I do feel like the more you make noise, the more noise you make, it makes them have the ability to do it. Say, oh, well, you know, people are saying this, this, and this. It's for me as president of the people that I need to go and investigate this just to calm any sort of quell. Calm any sort of chaos that may ensue in the future. That is the motive, that's the idea, the understanding. Under here, the Pope card, the faith card reversed, is followed by the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords here is an unknown man waiting in the background. It's reversed, the boogeyman, but this person has a gun. It's reversed. I don't see some sort of conflict at the moment, but I do feel like eventually this individual who's in bed is going to be pointing their little vehicle, this little thing at this individual here. I wonder if that is going to happen because this person here, it does feel like it's not yet. Not yet. Whoever this is, it doesn't happen yet. It's going to happen. There's going to be another one. We have the Four of Wands here upright, followed by the reverse Capricorn. That is the card that the energy that Aquarius got out of in the United States we entered in on October 5th, 2024, and that led to Donald Trump's victory because it temporarily entered back in and then entered into Aquarius in 2025. We're now into the age of Aquarius. It's not retrograding back. We do have the Water card reverse. Everybody knows you don't mix oil and water together because that just sets things on fire. It's an oil ridge. We kept getting oil in Texas. There's something in Texas here. Possibly Elon Musk again, because Elon Musk did move his little station to Texas. But I do feel like there's something underlying here. There's oil and water. You don't mix hatred and emotion together because that just creates chaos. So I feel like the oil and water is like the oil is the everyday life, and the water is our emotional aspect. And when you mix the two, it becomes very toxic and it becomes very violent, very aggressive. And we have here the Magician, the solar moon, right? The solar eclipse, right? We have the American flag, we have the telescope here, we have the Scorpio with the rat. We kept talking about the Scorpio and the rat. The Scorpio needs to strike the mouse. Well, really, needs to strike the rat. Right? The question is Biden going to be the mouse that strikes? That's a question that still needs to be answered and remain. But the bottom with that here, we have the Cancer card. It's the United States card. It's always been 4th of July. That is the card that comes up. So it does feel like this is a lot stronger of an option for Biden. Spirit Angels tell me regarding Executive Order 13848. Will Biden institute this for investigating the 2024 presidential election and possibly pave the way for a new president, or reconfirm who won the election. But I kept seeing that there's a possibility of a president in 2025 in the election. Another presidential election in 2025. What is the story here? We have here punk rockers, very weird. Reverse. Then we have here CFL-AIO, liberal. This is protest. Weird liberal protesting. There's some sort of protest here. So we kept getting protests here. So what does that have to do with all this? Possibly making noise is what makes Biden do the executive order. That could be what that does. What else? So if you guys want reconfirmation, reach out to Biden. I'll put the contact link in the description below so you can contact the White House and let them know your concerns. I myself am waiting to hear back from President Biden, but until then, there's no response. But I did my part. The thing is, did you do yours? So Spirit Angels, tell me, Will Biden execute Executive Order 13848? Will Biden execute it for the 2024 presidential election and nullify it? Or whatever it is, the story. Just give me the story. I don't care what it is, just tell me. Tell me the story here. What's the story? Okay. What's the bottom of the cards here? We have intellectuals, weird, fantastic, fanatic, excuse me. Oh, okay. I guess we'll just take those as well. The top of the deck is CIA. Ooh, some investigation. There's some sort of investigation. Okay, so we'll just read them the way they fell on. So for the Pisces card, you talk about going upstream, going into calmer water. Will he take action? It looks more likely that he's going to. We have here semi-conscious liberation army, right? We have people, being conscious, more aware about what things that happen. I think that there's going to be a little bit of protest. We have the Ford Motor Company. Ford assembly line. There's some sort of assembly of something. There's assembling of something. We have Madison Avenue. Any attempt to control big media or MTV. Madison Avenue. Sounds like martial law and marital law. Something gets. We have here, it's an involvement of the United Nations. The United States nation is going to have to get involved in some capacity. And it revolved around campaign donors. I wonder if campaign donors were coming from overseas and not from in the United States. I wonder if this had to do with Citizens United. Because under here, the Capricorn card with the protest and anger, with the motion and oil, we have the Society of Assassins. I kid you not, we're already getting there. We're already there. If the CEO thing wasn't already a hint, well, this should be the hint now. We have here the Bermuda Triangle. The connection. Some of you guys have said that they've been meeting somewhere in the Bermuda Triangle. I have to reread that. But some of you guys have been saying that there's some sort of connection there. And then we have here the nephew of God. Conservative fanatic. I think that there's going to be a conservative fanatic that might commit something. That might do something. And they're going to be a part of some sort of sass. If you know what I mean. We do have here underneath on the Sagittarius card though, which is talking about the election, we have this, the red truck again, reversed, the red truck. I talk about faulty wiring, right, it's reversed, okay? It doesn't matter if the reverse or the upright does not mean anything in this deck, it means the same meaning, so it's upright theoretically, but just keep that in mind. We do have here the tabloid, the love affair, okay? We have here yuppies. We talked about this card. Actually, these all cards came out in previous readings too. Yuppies. Okay, people who are like crazy. And they're giving me the Menendez brothers. The Menendez. We have flat earthers. Weird, conservative. Conspiracy. Something is too flat. We have New York. Criminal, violent government. We have this big monkey with a plane. Then we have here health food stores. There's something going on with health that's going to happen. I wonder if we're going to have another pandemic. So I got to look at the bird flu. I did this reading before, but I think it's time that I do another reading on that. So I have to add that to my list of things to do. On the Two of Swords reversed, we talked about possibly this person bringing out their, on this individual. Let's see what it said. It says here that there is bank accounts, so there's some sort of payment with a deep agent. So somebody is involved, somebody is a double agent. I feel more like a double rather than an individual. There's going to be an investigation that's going to take place, or a private investigation on who this individual is. This person is going to try to flee the country or try to escape persecution or has already escaped persecution, but does not mean they actually left the country. It might just mean that they have people in position of power that ensure them from facing prosecution. We do have post office, government. There's going to be information that's going to be handed to the government, and here are two blank information. The reason why we don't know is because they're highly classified. That's why we don't know what the information is, but there's information here that relates to this individual, and this individual gets hurt because somebody else tried to take them out, because he becomes a liability. So some sort of liability here. And what's the bottom of the deck? Intellectual. Okay? Smart people in position of power is loan shark. I said this before in Model Reading, and this is almost like a sequel. Oh my god. So something with people that he owes money, that somebody owes money to someone, and because they could not deliver, it almost like I feel like to me this person is involved in some sort of mafia style energy, because it's almost like when you take out an interest loan and if you don't pay the loan back, they come after you and they hurt you and your family. That's kind of what it feels like. That is exactly what it feels like, actually. Not going to lie, That is Executive Order 13848. I do feel like there's a lot of information coming out of this specific executive order. So as of right now, I feel pretty confident that if Biden were to pursue anything, Executive 13848, as of right now in this reading, looks like the best option. Okay, we are going to our next section, where she's going to be talking about possibility of a wartime president entering in a wartime conflict to stay in power and keep the other one out of power. So that is also another option as well. Don't know the loophole there. I'm going to look that up in a second so we can kind of find it out. Because even myself was curious about that. You know what? While I'm doing that, let me actually look it up. I could read it to you while I look it up. Okay. How can a president, state president, add a wartime president? Let's see what it says. Okay. War powers of the president. If there was a war, that the president stay in office during a war election. Okay, this is Congress. I'll have to copy this, but it says here, the president shall be commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy of the United States and of the militia of the several states when called into actual service of the United States. He may require the opinion in writing of the principal officer in each of the executive departments upon any subjects relating to the duties of their respective office, and he shall have power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in the case of impeachment. In his message to Congress of September 7th of 1942, was in which he demanded that Congress repeal certain provisions in the Emergency Price Control Act. Franklin Roosevelt formulated the concept of his power as president in wartime to act inconsistently with the congressional statute. I ask Congress to take this action by the 1st of October, and action on your part by that date will leave me with inescapable responsibility to the people of this country to see to it that the war effort is no longer impowered by the threat of economic chaos. In the event that Congress should fail to act and act adequately, I shall accept the responsibility and I will act. At the same time that foreign prices are stabilized, wages can and will be stabilized also. This I will do. The President had the power under the Constitution, under Congressional Act, to take measures necessary to avoid a disaster that will interfere with the winning of the war. I have given the most thoughtful consideration to meeting this issue without further reference to the Congress. I determined, however, on this vital matter to consult with the Congress. The American people can be assured that I will use my power with the full sense of my responsibility to the Constitution, to my country. The American people can also be sure that I shall not hesitate to use every power vested in me to accomplish the defeat of our enemies in any part of the world where our own safety demands such defeat. When the war is won, the powers under which I act automatically revert to the people to whom they belong. While congressional compliance with the President's demand rendered unnecessary in an effort on his part to amend the Price Control Act, there were other matters to which he repeatedly took action within the normal field of congressional power, not only during war but in some instances prior to it, and exerting both the powers in which he claimed the commander-in-chief and those which Congress conferred upon him to meet the emergency. President Roosevelt employed a new emergency agency created by himself and responsible directly to him, rather than the established department of existing independent regulatory agencies. So, it does not specify anything about the possibility or the plausibility of a president staying on as president. So let me just ask that again. Maybe there's other information that we need to find. Can a president stay on as a wartime president. Okay. Okay, it says here, yes, the president can remain past their term if a national emergency is also declared in addition to the congressional war declaration. So yes, a president can ultimately remain in office with a simple addition presidential declaration of a national emergency, but not a congressional war declaration only. For Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln did, FDR did, LBJ did, Nixon did, and were all reelected while the war was still ongoing. So yes, for overseas wars. For wars internal to what would become the CONUS, Lower 48, you can add Madison, War of 1812, and Andrew Jackson, Creek War. A bit, these were short wars, so they were iffy wars with the question. P.S. LBJ was re-elected in 1964 while Vietnam War was slowly escalating, phased and refused to run again in 1968 after having presided over a goodly part of it, so he's on the list with provisional note. The U.S. doesn't have, quote, war election. As in special election rules for wartime, we have elections during wars, which are under exactly the same rules as peacetime. No one gets a special ascension. At the presidential level, voters tend to be very reluctant to switch leaders during a time of conflict. The old saying about don't change horses in midstream applies. No, a president's term is 4 years, period. If he fails to be reelected or doesn't qualify to serve another term, then the new president has to deal with the situation. That's part of the reason why there is a two-month transition period between election day and inauguration day. It is to bring new president and his team up to speed regarding current issues facing the country. Okay, that's interesting. But that gives us a lot of intel and information regarding how the possibility of a wartime president could ensue. I don't know if that's a possible outcome, but we'll take a look here. See? Spirit Angels tell me, how likely is the United States to enter a wartime situation where President Biden or Vice President Harris could stay on as the de facto leader of the United States until the war has ended? Yes or no, is that a possibility to happen? To keep President Trump out of the White House? Okay, here's the House. No, I don't see it as an outcome. The gift could come, but no. We have the House here, followed by the marriage in the past, which is the unity between states, and the unity between the American people and its government, followed by the reverse bad health, which is in the health card, but it's reverse. We have despair here. I don't think that's going to be the outcome that Biden's going to go in. And we have child. I think he doesn't want to have people die just because he wants to keep Trump out of the White House. I think that would be the wrong motive here. It would be very karmic. We do have here toil and labor. There's other methods that he could pursue other than forcing the United States to enter war, which is a mature man. I think he's very wise, and that's a very wise decision. I definitely agree with that statement. We do have distant horizon in reverse. I don't think that's going to be an outcome that's going to happen. But there will be a change that comes. And that change is going to lead to an occupation, a change. Somebody's going to get a level up. And it's going to be a state of concern. And there's lack of high honor. So I do feel like there's going to be more internal. But there's going to be a concern here. There is concerns regarding the United States. But I don't think that it will be a smart move for the United States to enter a wartime situation at this point. Because that's just energizes a radical and extremists in the United States to become energized, well, more energized than they originally are, and it adds to the movement that the United States cannot and will not be able to sustain itself if it was to pursue a method of war. I don't think the United States is ready for war. It's certainly not mentally there. It's not unified. The best way to take out a country is to go after an ununified country. The United States is that country. So, no, I don't think wartime is the best option for that. We have spoken about a possibility of a military coup occurring. So we are going to explore that and see if that is an outcome or a plausibility that may happen. So Spirit Angel Tommy, will there be a potential military coup that either outs President Biden and Vice President Harris from the White House, or keep Donald Trump out of the White House? Excuse me. Okay, tell me. Is there going to be a military coup in the United States? Let's just go there. Will it keep Donald Trump out of the White House, or Joe Biden and Vice President Harris? Will it kick him out? What's happening? Will there be a military coup? We have the Love card. We have the Biden administration. The strength. There's lack of strength in the military. I will say I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there could be a coup, but it doesn't necessarily favor the Biden administration. Let's see. Could there a possibility of a military coup within the United States? What that means is overtakes Biden, Vice President Harris out of the White House, or install Donald Trump as president, or install the Republican, or is there a possibility where there's a military coup to keep Donald Trump from taking power? Okay. Okay, so we have Tulsi Gabbard's here, by the way. So that's a bad sign already. Okay. Okay, we have the resistance here at the bottom of the deck. The resistance. Okay, we have a lot of information going here. Okay, so we're talking about a possibility of a military coup. We have here this person is not going to leave office, or is going to try not to leave office, right? Now, again, like I said earlier in the video, that it's very hard for tarot cards to really determine time. This could be taking time. It could be taking place, going next year. It would be taking place in 2028 to 2029. We don't know yet, but tarot is telling the story. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Cups reversed. I think it might be 2028. But we'll see. We have the strength card reversed. There's a lack of strength here. There's weakness. And it's being aided and challenged by the Lovers card, which is disconnect between the people and the American government. There's disconnect. We have here is followed by the Two of Pentacles. Bad decision, poor decision making, and the ousting of the Republican. There's some sort of ousting here. It feels like to me that whoever is in position of power after Trump is going to have some very hardships. He does not know what he's doing. Now, this is telling us a timeline in which we may not even enter, because we've had talking about how we don't see Biden. We don't see Biden in office for long. We don't see Trump in office. Not even J.D. Vance. There's somebody here that doesn't know what they're doing. We have the High Priestess card here, reverse. This is the United States. This is the Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris card. This is the Joe Biden card. It's reversed, which tells me this person is not Vice President Harris. I don't know if I have confidence in Vice President Harris is going to become the next president. I don't know. Doesn't feel like it's her either. There's somebody else that we don't know. I have to read on this more. We have here underneath the 8 of Cups reversed, we have the Justice card, which is the Supreme Court. The lack and failure of the government to be able to be bipartisan and be able to do what it's supposed to do. There's Capricorn here. We have the military lined up. I think it's any minute now. And we have here the King of Swords. This card also came up. The Knight, King of Swords here, it's reverse. I think there's a very strong possibility. I actually think that we might actually experience one in 2028. I think that is what this is referring to, that we're aiding our way closer and closer to one. I think, in order for us to get there, we need to be able to experience the disaster that's going to take place. Again, don't be scared. This is not something meant to be scared. We do have the Sun card reverse, followed by the reverse Queen of Wands. Happy or Harry Potter. This is books. Something's reversed here. It has to do with books. The trend, the lack of historical significance, the lack of remembering what took place before. We have the Knight of Wands here, which is building. The first card that came up in this deck for this reading. The Knight of Wands. There's some sort of building here, and it has to deal with the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords normally is my card for Vice President Harris. It's reversed. Again, there's also a reversal of both the card that meant Harris. What card is coming up here on the side? We have the Six of Wands, which is resistance. And that's also a victory card, by the way. And then we also have here the Earth card. Getting, the beekeeper, the bees are always very intelligent. They're all about maintaining control and make sure they have a hierarchy system, right? That is something that's very important about the bees. So there's some sort of success with the hierarchy, a realignment of the hierarchy. I think that's what it is. I think there might be a possibility of people coming together. It's going to do a lot more than just a protest. We do have here at the bottom of the Rider-Waite Tower deck, we have divisiveness, we have aggression, fighting against all odds. I think Americans are going to be successful at this. We have the World card. The World card is reverse. We have strife coming down. I think there's going to be violence with the United States government. I think the United States government is going to commit crimes and atrocities, and it's going to anger a lot of people, and there's judgment here. And we have here the Two of Swords reversed. We don't know what's going to happen. And here we have the Sun card. All I know is whoever's in power around this time is going to get taken out. Whether that means by force or by something else. But here's the Ace of Wands reversed. The wand falls. That's what I got. The wand falls. I think there's going to be a possibility. It feels like the energy is aiding its way towards a plausibility where whoever becomes president is going to have some serious hardship, and it's going to face a possibly ousting or a possibly military coup to remove them from power, whether by force or by, But I feel like, to me, it feels more conservative than liberal. I feel like the liberals are out of power, where the conservatives are in power. So I feel like, there might be more of a deeper understanding now. Again, this may not happen now. It may happen 30 years from now. It may happen 20 years. It may happen 10. I don't know. Because when you ask a question like that, we don't know what time period it's talking about. We don't know what time period it's talking about, but we know that it's talking about there's going to be one. It's just a matter of when, a matter of when that happened, And I did get in one of my readings a long, long time ago that Vice President Harris is not going to become president under the Biden administration. She has to become president under incumbent, and she defeats the incumbent. I wonder, in order for Vice President Harris to become president, Donald Trump needs to be inaugurated. And I got that in 2025 too, for the election, if there's a recall or there's a nullification of the result. I do feel like for some reason Trump is in office or some Republicans in power, but then she defeats them. But it comes sooner than 2028, possibly. So there might be a redo election on our way, but we don't know yet. I don't feel comfortable about a military coup. It seems a little iffy. The information just doesn't seem to add up. So I'm not so confident about a military coup. I think, if anything, the most confident I feel like it's Executive Order 13848 and and a presidential election in 2025. I feel like those two are the best combo or best combination for President Biden or Vice President Harris to pursue. That would seem like the best avenue going forward. Let's just see if we can get information from the Illuminati deck regarding the military coup and see if we can get some extra intel. Spirit Angels tell me regarding the military coup in the United States, whether or not that is meant to keep Donald Trump out of the White House in 2025. Will there be a military coup? The reversals here I'm getting are what's going to happen. The non-reversal, the one that's upright, is not going to happen. Thank you. Okay, so we have the FBI here, followed by the Illuminati reverse, two Illuminatis reverse. We have here gun lobby. There's something with guns here. Guns keep showing up in a lot of our readings lately. Conservative violent. We have here government straight. FBI. Of FBI open up. We have here the Bavarian Illuminati. But Bavarian, that's German. Bavarian is German. So there's something going on with Germany that is tied to the United States. I wonder if the hack is related to the past. We do have international communist conspiracy. I don't think the things that we've been feeling, the energy that we've been getting into conspiracy at all. Again, everything in this video just for legend, entertainment purposes only. I really don't. I think there's more to the story here. We have here the Gnome of Durich. I kept talking about money being transferred to Switzerland. I talked about that in my other previous videos about information being handed over to Swiss. We have recyclers here. Something is getting recycled. And it has to do with eco-guerrillas, which has to do with war, but it also has to do with the economy. And it has to do with, I'm seeing specifically more so, economic warfare in terms of the environment. We do have here psychoactive drugging. And we have here the Pentagon. Oh, that's not good. The Pentagon falls here. I think there's gonna be. I think there's gonna be a setup. If the Republicans go in, they're gonna set the government up. The government's gonna be set up and right for a military coup. I think that is what it looks like to me. It looks like there's gonna be a setup. There's a plan in place, and it has to do with information in the Pentagon. They're going to control everything. Survivalists. There's going to be resistance. There's going to be people in the military that have to stay in, but the problem is they're going to get removed. And there's going to be a form of resistance. I feel like we're heading towards something. Where tobacco and liquor companies reverse. People become sober. People start waking up. We have here the post office, government. I think there's going to be a secret government that takes place to try to get these people out. Problem is, they're already in. We have blank. We don't know the rest of the story because the story is not meant to be told yet. But what they're going to tell you though is that they're going to be listening on the phone. They're going to be tracking people. I think there's going to be some sort of tracking, and we do have the Bermuda Triangle. So, what is the military coup? It looks like there's going to be a setup. It really does. We'll see what happens, but I kept talking about Donald Trump going to declare marital law back in 2020 and 2021. Again, all that is timeless reading. Things can happen later on, doesn't necessarily happen again. I mean, it doesn't happen right then and there. It could happen later on. So, a lot of things that we said about Trump escaping to Russia or, going to Israel or going to the Middle East, trying to escape the country, I do believe that. I do believe that he's going to escape. I really do. And I wonder if he is one of those people who's going to end up escaping. But that is the information that we got for today. Honestly, I don't know what to think a lot of it. I have to really sit on the information and kind of think about it. I think the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to do a second channeling tonight and see if I get anything. And then I'll upload a video if I have any. Until then, guys, I love you. Thank you for engaging with this content. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Let me know in the comment section below what you've been getting. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to engage with the content. You let me know what you think. In the meantime, I love you all. I really appreciate all of you. I've been responding to more of your comments, so if you have not already, check that out. And I will let you know when President Biden responds to me. Until then, peace out. I love you.